Back to the channel, guys. So, new chapter's not out, but you know what is?
Kuma! Kuma! Kuma!
クーマチお父さん
治る
お父さん
よかったありがとう
Okay, first off, I just want to know for those of you who are just anime fans, or to be honest, even the manga fans, what did you guys think when this first came out? Because I was like broken. My god, how much pain can one man suffer in his life? That's literally Kuma in general. Like how much pain can you, like, emotional, physical damage can one person suffer in one life and still be that positive? It's insane. I wish nothing other than good things happen to him from here on out. Holy crap. But uh the blows I've been seeing on Instagram, on YouTube Shorts, on TikTok even, and as well as X. Oh my god, dude! Like it's not even a joke how upset the Kuma backstory created. It's been a while since it's come out. I think it's 2 weeks right now, 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not sure, but holy crap, the amount of pain we've seen him go through. Uh, Starting from where, like, okay, so we're just gonna basically we literally see that Kuma kind of like has a good childhood, but then obviously he's a buccaneer. Um, so his family gets enslaved by the fucking I thought, dude, that's just so messed up, so messed up. Even through all that, his family is so positive, tries to keep it so positive of them. But the guy, dude, the first instance of like when his dad got shot right in front of him, I wanted to rip through the comic book pages and go and punch the guy to like oblivion. That's what I wanted it to do. That like that was so heartbreaking. That was so heartbreaking. To make a story so infuriating is sort of a work for it itself. So hats off to it over there. But holy crap, I don't want him to suffer anymore, man. Um, Before we get all into that, as soon as Kuma's arc came into the anime and people started talking about it, I I was like, I'm not gonna watch this arc anyway because I've been through that emotional trauma. I'm not gonna do it again. Then we actually, so going back to our discussion regarding that, we actually see him having a better time with like Ginny and Ivankov and everybody else, like escaping at during the um what was it? The God Valley incident. Um, and finally getting his devil fruit powers. And my God, is okay. Short deviation over here. The pop-off fruit is insane. Like the abilities it has, it's on par with the freaking uh it's basically the god of repulsion. That's basically it. It's like if kid ultimate it's the ultimate uh ultimate of kids devil fruit. That's what it is. That's literally what it is. So we kind of see him having a good time during after the God Valley incident, like being away and like helping the citizens. And then we see him join the Revolutionary Army because he has enough strength and beat up the king of the country because, well, the king was being a pretty big dick. But and in the Revolutionary Army Hills is a good time, but then the thing with Jenny happens, and that was the thing that just put a nail in the coffin for me. Jenny was a nail in the coffin, and my god, was it such a harsh nail. Oh my god, dude. This is why One Piece's world is so fucked up that most of the time it's very lighthearted. You most of the times can get away with like imagining like the good things, like Luffy breaking the chains and stuff, um, liberating people. But then once in a while you get a gut punch so harsh like Ginny, and it's like you want to like literally crawl into a hole and not escape from there because the hole is fucking safe. Okay, I have no words for how sad that part was. That was so perfectly sad. But somehow, anyway, she managed to escape from her captors, the Celestial Dragons, and she finally made it out. But she couldn't get all the way back to Kuma, which is another sad part. She made it out and was on her way back. I think Fisher Tiger, again, another beautiful character. I think Fisher Tiger's raid was what freed her, but she already had that what the name of the disease, but the one that turns you that creates scales on your body. Um, she already had the disease, and she didn't unfortunately didn't make it to Kuma um before basically passing away, and to be left with Bonnie is was literally the only thing that Kuma could like. Bonnie was basically a version of Ginny that Kuma had. Basically, that was it. And honestly, it's it's hard to explain. Like it's so hard to explain how traumatizing that could be for someone. Like a lot of people have could be really traumatized and not raised a child. But Kuma, the kindest person he is, he fucking raised Bonnie like the father he is, dude. He is an amazing person, and he will forever have my respect for that. Real life speaking, there are a lot of people who have insecurities that lead to not wanting to raise a child like them. And again, this is no fault on the children. It's just that people have insecurities, and I understand those insecurities. I still consider it a bad trait if you're putting blame on children for something. Um, but it's just how the world is, and I'm not gonna pretend not to see the world for what it is. Um, but Kuma is fucking heart of gold, and he raises Bonnie like a freaking champ, man. Like holy crap, the freaking impeccable, like literally what a father should be. He's that for Bonnie. Like that's it. There's no father figure for Bonnie other than Kuma. Like that's definitely there. So yeah, he does raise Bonnie, and through that we can find out Bonnie has the same sickness as her mother. Um, and he literally gives up his entire life for Bonnie. Like the cure to Bonnie is this one. Cure to Bonnie's sickness was primarily through was guaranteed by Saturn, and it was if Kuma gave up his life for that. And honestly, before we jump into that, let's talk about Bonnie for a second. This raises very good, very interesting specifications regarding Bonnie's heritage, because it's almost certainly a celestial dragon that's Bonnie's father, and if it is a celestial dragon that's Bonnie's father, that would mean that Bonnie has special privileges, even though she is not of the heritage. Not She doesn't know of her heritage. She still has certain privileges that the Navy cannot take actions against. So, in the case that Bonnie does join the Straw Hats, which to be honest doesn't look like it, it's still going to mean that um, the Straw Hats would both be an enemy of the world government, but could not be tracked by the world government. Because I remember the scene from it's one of the middle chapters, I think, right after what do you call it? Right after the war, the Marineford War, um, and Akainu actually caught well Blackbeard technically caught Bonnie, but Akainu came to where Blackbeard had caught Bonnie and actually let her go. So he knows that Bonnie is the offspring of a celestial dragon. Don't get me wrong, she's Kuma's daughter. No one else has rights to call her a daughter other than Kuma. But she is the offspring of one of the celestial dragons, and it must be high enough ranking that they basically have to let her go every single time. It doesn't matter, and that is insane for me to hear because now that we know the celestial dragons have different rankings, there are some rank and file ones, and then there's higher levels like Shanks' dad and everything. Um, we might, she might be what the kid of one of the high ranking ones, which would be pretty cool. Which would be really cool. Now, while that's cool and all, let's get back to the main story, which is Bonnie Bonnie finding out about her dad, man, and the situation in general. So, like, I was like, the reason Bonnie didn't want to go out, it just happened so quickly that she got to go out, and then she found out her dad's condition like immediately because once the people who were watching her kind of like walked away, um, or she ditched them rather, um, she basically just immediately found out like what all was going on in the world, and then she just it it was you're gonna hear me say it again, but it was literally heart wrenching to watch her find out what exactly happened to her dad. She kind of found out um most of what the world government had done to her dad, but eventually she actually found out what was the at Vegapunk's lab. She kind of found out what happened and why her dad was so willing to be converted into a cyborg. Um, However, let's just go moving forward from this. There is light at the end of the tunnel. So if you guys haven't haven't read the manga and you guys are anime only, uh, I'll I'll put a timing right here, and you guys can skip to that part. But I'm gonna just explain a little bit. So now that Straw Hats have Kuma with them, you basically are you basically have a good situation where they could reverse what's done, especially since they're in Wano right now, and the library could survive still. I'm not sure. There's a chance that the library won't get lost because that's basically the. It was lost once. I don't think Oda's gonna try and do it again. So I hope the library is saved and they can basically just go in and get stuff done because that would be crazy if they burn down the library again. So there's a chance that Kuma could be saved. So I'm hoping for that. Now, let's come back to like the entire scene that's been like on Instagram every single second. The perspective of Kuma when he was separating the Straw Hats and Sabori. Um, that perspective is amazing to see because while it was kind of like a desperation for the Straw Hats at the time, Kuma knew like hey, you guys are gonna come back, but you guys are not fucking ready yet. You need to be ready for this world because this world hurts like hell. All right, like I've been through like the worst possibility, and you're probably gonna have to face those. Just be prepared before you come here, and it's beautiful to see, because the amount of work Kuma has actually done for the Straw Hats, it is insane. Dude, the Straw Hats owe their lives to Kuma. I don't care which Straw Hat is there, the Straw Hats literally owe their lives to Kuma. He has saved them multiple times. Like even when they met him at Thrillerberg, he was still like he was testing the metal of the characters. Even then, like I'm pretty sure he would not have, like, given what I've seen of Kuma do, pretty sure he would not have walked into and given Luffy to the Marines because of the Dragon Son. Also, it's such a stark contrast to what how Kuma was introduced in Thriller Bark and before the Marineford War to what Kuma actually is, and it is insane that we were met with such a stoic Kuma when he was introduced, and how much of a kind giant Kuma actually is. Going back to Straw Hats, they literally owe their lives to Kuma. One of their main dreams now have to be to restore Kuma back to what he was, or something, somewhat of a semblance of what he was before. If they don't do that, I don't care which one of their dreams come true, they don't deserve the respect they are. You need to return the kindness for what you have return the kindness that you've been shown. All right, you do have to do that. All right, he literally saved your asses all throughout the entire freaking One Piece. You do not show respect to that guy and try to help him when he needs help. You definitely have to help his daughter. So I'm hoping Bonnie sticks around with you and you don't ditch her. I'm pretty sure you're not going to ditch her the way the story's being framed right now. You're pretty sure you're not going to ditch her. But if you do, I'm going to be mad. All right. So Oda, don't make the Straw Hats ditch Bonnie. All right. That's about it. Yeah. Uh, it's been a pretty big roller coaster. And you guys are gonna have to uh like go through it right now. I honestly don't like reading hard chapters like that because there's so much emotional damage in those chapters that once I went through them, I'm like, I'm never going back to that. I'm just not gonna go back to that. Absolutely not. Um, but yeah, if you guys like trauma, go for it. Read it again if you want. I am personally not gonna do it, and I'm personally not gonna watch the anime part of it as well. Although I've been seeing some good animation from Toei. One side note regarding the Toei animation, I don't know what they're doing with Sanji, but it's feeling wrong with Sanji. This is kind of like a side note. This is the end of discussion kind of thing. I don't know what Toei is doing with Sanji's animation. Because Zoro's getting freaking amazing animation. Don't get me wrong. They've like a lot of the Instagram things we do. Like Toei has a different budget set for Zoro, and I completely agree with that. Toei just has a different budget for Zoro. Okay, they're like, you know what? We're gonna have the Zoro budget, and then we're gonna have a One Piece budget. All right, that's basically it. But what's up with Sanji, dude? Why you make him look so weird all the time? And I just don't understand that. Like, he's such a good character. Yeah, he has his quirk. He has weird quirks, right? But when it comes to badass, he is freaking badass. Why would you not mess around with that? Like, why would you? Why are you like not giving him the credit he deserves? I just don't understand that. Anyway, that's about it. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, consider subscribing down below and liking the video if you did. I really want to hear your thoughts about Kuma's arc. So yeah, leave that down in the comments too. I've been Kurogami, and I'll see you guys in the next one.